Right, episode 3 of Sneaker Room. I'm Christian.
Ian.
And today we're going to be talking about Ian's collection. Let's get into it first. We've known each other for quite a long time, haven't we? And I mean, I remember this guy wearing 87 Safaris in 87. This is how sort of, I know we've both grown up in a little pit village just on sort of edge of Sheffield where, you know, fashion and stuff like that, we're all a bit dodgy. We're all donkey jackets and dockers when we were young. So, but what
I had a donkey jacket.
Your main influence, obviously, in looking at your collection is your casuals.
Football culture.
Yeah, the football culture, and that from like the late 80s, mid 80s to late 80s.
Mid to late 80s, yeah.
So, what really got you into that culture? Are you a big football fan, or you know?
No, wasn't ever a huge football fan. Always on the fringes, got to matches and stuff like that. But I had friends who were trying to think how to word this politely. Where I'm not going to say any names, but I had friends who were associated.
Right. You knew some hooligans.
Yeah, they were hooligans. They were hooligans. Right. So I used to go to matches with them, let them crack on with scrapping.
Right.
But I used to be on the periphery, and I was always there just to stand there and just go
and look up.
Look at what he's got on.
Yeah.
Look at what he's got on. Visiting fans, checking out what were on foot and stuff like that.
Right, so that's quite how a lot of sort of people our age did get into the scene, you know what I mean? You'd got that and you'd got breakdancing that were out at the same time.
Yeah.
So you were sort of either one or other, weren't you? You know what I mean?
I embrace both.
Right, let's go for what's your favourite trainer? What's your favourite pair out of everything you've got here?
Oh.
GV.
Puma GV. Absolute Terry staple from 80s. This is exotic pack, so it's got your nubuck toe box on it as well as being leather. Whereas a lot of the other reissues, even though they've got the thicker sole unit, they've got the leather toe box instead of the nubuck.
How many pairs have you got, GVs?
There's a blue pair in a box somewhere and all, and about another 7 or 8 pairs upstairs.
So they're like what Puma suedes are to me. Yeah.
I've got more Puma suedes than I've got GVs.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Pick between.
They're absolutely.
They're your number one.
Yeah. They're absolute number one. Classic style. You can wear them with a pair of cords, pair of jeans. Chuck on a pair of Fowler Hopsykes with a vintage polo. You're laughing.
Your Fred Perry.
Black and yellow, obviously.
Oh yeah. Right. Standard question. Your top 5.
Well, GV's going to be number 1.
Yeah.
It's got to be Estates at number 2. But it's
State Shadow Society.
State Shadow Society, which is just, and it's purely, it's a classic silhouette. It's exactly the same as the suede. It's just called, they called what it States for release in the UK, suede for release in the States.
All the way around.
Was it?
Clyde's originally, when More Clyde for Asia were sponsored by them, and then
Clyde's slightly narrower fit though than
States in America, Suede's in the UK.
I've got that one wrong way around then, yeah.
I think so. That's how it goes.
Shadow Society ones, got some quality at shoe, your linings and everything. It's such a good quality shoe. Can I just say about modern shoes as well? This is a standard of what a bog standard shoe should be made at now, not with synthetic linings and stuff like that. This is how shoes were made back in the day. Full leather linings, everything.
Agreed.
Obviously with that you've got your all your spare laces and stuff.
We all like those little extra bits that come with them, don't we? That's what we buy them for.
I think it's an ostrich scrotum, to be quite honest, but...
Right, that's 2.
Plenty. 3. Oh man. It's as much as I've got plenty of Asics and stuff, they've not always been on my radar for some reason. Thick, shape, stuff like that. But as soon as I got my mitts on, Gel Light MT.
Right.
It's the only pair I've got, so you don't get one very often. Absolutely, the fit, the styling, love it.
And they've got this extra.
Yeah, you've got your Gel Light 5.
Yeah.
You've got your Gel Light 5 tongue, and then you've got your Gel Light 3 split tongue as well. But they called it the Gel MT. It's designed, it's got a chunkier sole unit, it's designed as a winter shoe. So I should have really got the bloody thing in black, shouldn't I? Because that ain't any good for winter. But it's a lovely shoe.
3, 2 more to go.
1, 2, that's 3. Gotta have another tennis shoe in there. Adidas Tennis Advantage.
Yep.
The cracking shoe. Got it in a few different colourways, but you can see with colour on it now. It's they're on the way to getting wrecked, so I don't wear them very often because I can't get hold of UK 9s anymore, which is an absolute ball ache.
Were they part of the anniversary ones in that colourway? Or the originals?
No, the reissues.
That colour in the shell toes, exact same ones. So that's what, 4? So we're on to 5 now.
Is it 4 that?
Yeah.
Bugger! Can I not have 6 then?
You want 6? Go for 6, mate.
Number 1 running silhouette for me.
Yeah.
Diodora S8000. Got to be the made in Italy though. Whether it's nylons, whether it's the full suedes, the nubucks, what? Get the S8000 made in Italy. It's just a cracking shoe.
Very comfy trainer.
Exactly.
Very comfy.
Tennis shoes for style, runners for everyday work, for comfort.
Yeah.
And I've got just a current favourite at the moment, which is just me N9000 Ubik Wiswit, the cheesesteaks.
Very nice.
Done with well, it's Ubik in Philadelphia. So you've
Philly
cheesesteaks based on that colourway with the mustards and stuff. You've even got the tissue paper. He's done as a cheesesteak wrapping. You know how they wrap at Subway, stuff like that.
Again,
I think
those little things that make these packages.
Well, exactly, yeah.
A bit special, don't they?
Yeah.
Right, let's move on. What do you think about the current situation for like getting trainers and items and stuff? When we were young, there were no internet and stuff. We had to, word of mouth.
You had to hunt, you had to travel.
Yeah, you travelled to Manchester or you travelled up to Leeds and you hunted, you looked for shops, you clocked someone walking past with a nice pair of nanny, mate. Where'd you get those?
Where got them from?
What do you think how accessibly easy it is now for every sort of body to just keep buying them? And this also leads on to people that buy them and don't buy them, just buy them to sell.
See, I'm not even. We don't want swearing on camera because I really don't have time for resale. Current scene, it's a funny one because the accessibility is great.
Right.
For youngsters to have access to decent quality shoes.
So you don't miss the thrill of the hunt, like back in the day?
I do miss it. I miss that, but I think for modern day, for youngsters to get hold of a good looking, I'm not going to say good quality shoe, to get hold of a good looking shoe is easier. Right. Getting hold of a good quality shoe is a bit more difficult.
You see, for me, I mean, I work all over the country, so I might pop off in a city somewhere I've never been, and it's I've got a spare hour before I and I'll just go for a little dig, I sort of Google sports shops and stuff. Not like finding that little old sort of sports shop that nobody's touched for. I mean, I was working up in Ayr a few years ago, and I was driving through all these mad hills and stuff, and I come into a little village to a set of traffic lights, and there's a sports shop sat across from me that didn't look like anybody had been in it for 20 years, and it was just like, this is what I remember. This is that feeling is, like, oh my god, I just parked van up at the side of the road and jumped in this show. I mean, there weren't much there, to be fair. But it was that excitement of the thrill of looking for stuff.
When I'm out and about, I'll go for a dig around vintage shops, stuff like that.
Right.
Still, but I know people in vintage shops in Sheffield, so they know what I like. They know what to keep an eye out for. So one's just up the road from my work. So when they get good sized Champion reverse weave stuff in that's proper college sweats as opposed to just standard reissues, if it's a good vintage college sweat, whether it's a Notre Dame Fighting Irish or a Wisconsin, stuff like that. But I like the Champion college sweats.
So your collecting goes further than trainers. It's you need that tracksuit top or that vintage sweatshirt that goes with it. I mean, that matches the hook up.
I mean, I think I've got probably 15 Champion sweats upstairs that are all vintage.
There's only 7 days in a week, mate. 5
of which I've had since new.
Right.
And that's purely because back in the early 90s when I first moved up to Scotland, to North East Scotland, one of my friends was big into Camp America.
Right.
So he went away every season to the States for 6 weeks, did Camp America. So every time he went away, they were like that. A couple of Champion sweats, bring him back.
I know you've just been to the States recently.
Yeah.
What did you dig for mainly over there? Did you do vintage,
bizarrely
like
enough,
shops and stuff?
Bizarrely enough, I went for tees from attractions.
Right.
Which is it sounds mad, because I thought, well, I'm over here, right, New York. Let's go to Flight Club, get a Flight Club tee and a Flight Club sweat.
Yeah.
3 days before flying, walking through town, see a geezer in a Flight Club sweat. I thought, well, that's out of fucking, excuse me, that's out of window. Can't be buying Flight Club now because I've seen someone wearing it around here.
Right.
So that went out at window. So I've got a tee upstairs at the moment, which is awesome, absolutely love it. It's a pink tee. It's got Popeye on it, flexing his muscles. And it's from Intrepid Museum. Massive aircraft carrier sat on the Hudson in New York.
Right.
And
so you went mainly looking for stuff that nobody else had?
Stuff I'm not going to see, or
exclusivity.
Rarely going to see people wearing.
Which is, you know, I mean, that leads back to your casual days.
Yeah.
Everybody went all and all out to have that one thing that nobody else had.
That you're not going to see anyone else wearing.
Once someone saw it, they wanted it, but you wanted to be the trendsetter. Like that was a lot of point of the casuals, like when you've got teams like Liverpool and that going across into Europe and started bringing all Zucchini
Puma
stuff.
Argentina, Kenny Dalglish special edition. Sorry, tartan lining, number 7 up back, 240 pairs.
So like when your mods basically, your army stuff and that, then you went on to your casual stuff. That's when the designer brands became sort of like desirable for people like me and you, weren't it? You know, you'd got your LS Tacchini, your feelers and stuff like that, and that's when
you feel a white line, the whole Borg line. It's latterly, I think it was called the white line back then, but they called it Borg as well. And the re-releases are all done under white line. But you've got snow time and all stuff like that now as well, from all the snow range.
Right, let's wrap this up with the last question. Grail, something you're looking for. Something that you're going to go all and all out to try and find over this.
Something I look for and I check periodically. I've got it on watch lists. I've never even seen a pair come up in any size, let alone in a UK size 9. And it was one from back in the day, a red leather Puma Europe.
Right.
Just never. It's one of those shoes. I've only ever been able to find one picture of it on the internet.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's just one of those shoes I wanted back in the day. Couldn't get it back in. I managed to get hold of my GVs back in the day. Yeah. Never managed to get hold of got all the GVs and Californias. Yeah. Never got hold of a pair of Europes.
There were Dallas and Jopper as well that were very.
Oh yeah, I've got Dallas and everything upstairs, all that sort of stuff and all. Yeah.
Right. It's been an absolute pleasure, Ian.
Puma Europe.
A pleasure as always to see you. You take care, my friend.
Safe man.
See you later.